Marlow was outstanding for Leeds and fully deserved the Lance Todd Trophy.
Definitely, I think he's really kind of come into his own. Obviously, he's played at halfback. He's played a few positions in his career, but he seems now to have kind of really solidified that fullback role, and he seems to be playing some of the best rugby that he's played in his career. I mean, he's had a long career so far, but he just seems to have really got into that role um, and really playing well. So yeah, he was a well deserved winner of the Lance Todd Trophy. And yeah, like you said, if you want one man on your team to win you a game when it's 16 all, you want Luke Gale on your team, don't you?
You do, yeah. He just kicks the ball really well. He guides the team around the park, and do you know what? He's been that missing piece in Leeds' jigsaw for a number of years. And despite his age, 34, 35, however old he is, he's still got a couple of years of top rugby in him, and he'll continue to do that for Leeds for the next few years. I can guarantee it. So yeah, he's been a great signing for Leeds. Won them a Challenge Cup, of course, with the help of his teammates, and Leeds probably just shaded it in the end. But yeah, a great final, and like you say, you know, the old Rob Burrow thing puts a lot of it into perspective. But you know, Rob will be thrilled, and you know, to win it for Rob is just an unbelievable sort of thing for him. So yeah, a good final. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and I think for me as well, I was reading a few things obviously after the final, and you look at the obviously Richard Agar, he's kind of come in. He was only meant to be a temporary coach, and then obviously he was given the head coach job full time. It was kind of umming and ahhing about it, wasn't he, when he was put in that position as to whether he wanted to take it on full time. Luke Gale had a lot of critics before the season when Leeds first signed him. He's too old. He's not played in a few seasons, and I know we, especially on here, said we can't see why they've signed him, and obviously with him being injured and injury prone and the age he was at, would he be able to recapture his form? And Richie Myler, excuse me, I don't think it's COVID. Richie Myler as well, not really wanted by Leeds at the start of the year, but he said, do you know what, He took up that opportunity to give Jack Walker a run for his money and the halves, and he's nailed down that fullback role. And I think those three have kind of epitomised how far Leeds have come, because like a few of the players were saying after the final whistle, when they got beat by Bradford in the Challenge Cup last year, that was sort of the lowest of the low, and then now they've come kind of full circle, and they really seem to be getting back to the Leeds of old, it looks like.
I think just on the Richard Agar topic there, I remember Kevin Sinfield at that time saying, at this minute, Richard Agar's the right fit, and you know, you'd have to agree with him. It's not a risk bringing in Richard Agar. You know that he's gonna solidify a few things. He's gonna stiffen you up. He's gonna consolidate, and he will leave that team without a shadow of a doubt in a better position than when he took over. He's done it at every club he's been at. He's just the perfect calming influence to have around the place when Leeds are going through a massive transitional period and towards the bottom of the league for a couple of years and really struggling. Agar, whilst he wasn't a popular choice amongst many when he first got given the gig, you know, Leeds knew what they were doing, and they've brought somebody in who's well respected in the game, gets the respect of the players, a tactical coach, and somebody that's got him out of a rot, and he did the same at Wakefield when he took over there. So yeah, big pat on the back to Richard Agar, and he's obviously highlighted the areas in which they needed to recruit, and he's brought the players in to do that. Cruz Leeming, another player who's been outstanding since he joined from Huddersfield. He complements the team really well. It allows Dwyer to play less minutes, and those minutes he plays, albeit less, he can do what he does best, and that's run.
Well, I think when he came on at the weekend, and I think Salford were winning at that point, and Brad Dwyer came on and just changed the game a little bit, and like you said, he can come on and play those minutes. Not very many, but what he does play, he made that difference on Saturday when he came on, and obviously Leeds then went on and scored another try, and then Luke Gale got the drop goal to win it. So yeah, he does make a difference once he comes on. But Cruz Leeming to start the game off, and then Brad Dwyer to come on and provide that little bit of difference, a little bit of flair, a little bit of magic when he comes on.
Yeah, so Leeds, worthy winners in the end, I think, just. But Salford good. Niall Evans, obviously, coming back from injury. The question marks and eyebrows raised when he were included in the squad as to say why, how's he managed to come back from injury so soon. Was it a risk? Absolutely not. He came in, looked like he'd never been away.
Exactly. Played.
Ran Richie Myler close for the Lance Todd. So, yeah. Salford were good, but Leeds, I've no complaints there with the result. Leeds deserved it just.
Yes, I agree, and I think that's 2 finals that Salford have been in now in the consecutive years. I think they'll keep growing, and they'll keep, if they can keep performing and keep getting to these finals, it'll come one day, and they will end up winning. But was it a little bit of obviously Leeds, they know how to win. They know how to win a final. Salford, it doesn't come naturally to them. They're not used to being in that final. So was it a bit of that?
Say that again. Sorry, I was just reading comments that had just come in.
All right, no, that's fine. No, I was just saying. Obviously, Leeds are used to playing in those big games and winning those finals. They know how to get up for the game and plan for the game and how to win it, whereas Salford obviously lost that final last year. They're not used to that sort of big game pressure. Would that be a kind of element, do you think, to Salford losing that game at the weekend?
I'm going to say no. I just think it just boiled down to the best team over 80 minutes. They didn't change the way they played. They didn't make errors, uncharacteristic errors where the occasion looked like it got the better of them. I don't think that had any influence. I think Leeds were just marginally, slightly better on the day. A game, two evenly matched teams, battling out for 80 minutes, an even contest, and Leeds just, with the quality of Luke Gale's boot and his brain, that's what saw them home. But no, I wouldn't agree with that. I think Ian Watson prepared them as well as they can, and the players handled the occasion pretty well. Yeah,
no, I agree. I was just posing the question out there. And I think we've said it before on this channel, Ian Watson has done a magnificent job at Salford. They'll be wanting to keep him for as long as they can, won't they?
Yeah, they will. I think he's happy at Salford. He's just year on year improved them, and through adversity as well. When you lose players of the ilk of Robert Louis and Jackson Hastings, you've got to be good and smart in your recruitment, because you're not going to be able to get players at the calibre of those guys, and you're not going to be able to pay the money that the clubs have paid for those guys to take them off them for other players. So, you've got to be smart, and I think that the signing of Kevin Brown,
that was going to be my next point.
A real smart signing. He's only going to get 1, maybe 2 years out of him as your number 7. But what that does do is it plugs a gap, but he just brings on other players. They've obviously signed Chris Atkin as well, and Chris Atkin will have probably been told, look, mate, you're not going to play much this year. We've got us 2 half-backs in Lolohea and Brown. But what I want you to do is I want you to watch Kevin Brown closely on a daily basis. I want you to take plenty of what
notes,
he does. And you'll get your opportunities through the year to progress, and then hopefully next year, 18 months, you're well rounded into a top quality Super League halfback who can guide us around the field, and that's what Ian Watson's done. So the signing of Kevin Brown, a great signing. He's been really good for him when he's played, and of course they've done well in getting Lolohea in that spot for Lewis. So yeah, he's been good with his recruitment as Watson. Obviously brought in some good players as well. But what he does, you look at Lee Mossop, Gil Dudson, these sort of players that were told they weren't good enough for the previous clubs. Gil Dudson wasn't good enough for Widnes.
Yeah.
Lee Mossop wasn't good enough for Wigan. Came close to retiring through injury. Ian Watson's given him that belief, and I found this quite interesting in the fact that Lee Mossop says he retired. His body what a mess. He'd retired in his head and didn't make an announcement, and then got persuaded to stay on. And I just wonder if Ian Watson, just by his way of coaching and giving him that responsibility of captaincy and making him feel at home, I wonder if that's just sort of taken a lot of psychological pressure out of his head and just allowed him to enjoy playing rugby. And, shoulder reconstructions, knee reconstructions, the lot. I tell you what, he hasn't had an injury for 2 years. I mean, he has had a slight injury last couple of weeks, but he went through a full season last year and played in a grand final. So, he's getting the best out of players that are not been required or deemed good enough at the previous clubs. And if you've got a coach that can do that and you can bring in quality players with your recruitment, you're onto a winner there. And Darryl Powell did the same at Casa a while ago, and Ian Watson's doing it at a similar standard at Salford. So yeah, hats off to Salford, a great club, and a club that if you're looking for a team to join and you're off contract, you're looking at Salford as an appealing, tasty club to join. And credit to Ian Watson.
Yeah, definitely. We've just got a comment from Mally Stokes. Richard Agar's dad Alan won the cup with Fev, wondering if any other father and son duo have won the cup. Doubt it. I can't think of any.
I can't think of any. There probably will be. There probably will be one. But I can't think.
Nope.
Definitely none.
If
Recently.
you want to Google it, Mally, you can, and we can.
You can. Yeah, definitely.
We'll have a look. But yeah. So that was obviously the Challenge Cup final at the weekend, which probably took over most of the weekend sport. But there was a few other games in the Super League.
Yeah, Cass and Hull on Sunday. Hull, it's a miss all year. Absolutely battered Cass. With Cass, Darryl Powell's complained that he's not been able to field a side and all this and other. Well, sorry, Darryl, there's no excuses this week, sir. You had your first choice fullback and your first choice halfbacks available, so your spine were complete with McShane at hooker, and just outclassed by the black and whites of Hull and a hammering to top that off. So, yeah, worrying times for the Fords at the minute.
Well, yes, I mean, obviously.
And just for you guys there on camera, so he's actually got a Castleford Tigers polo
not.
shirt on, repping the amber.
I have not. It's actually College Grove Nursery polo top. Sponsors of Smile Radio. Just getting that plug in there.
Well done, Zoe.
Yeah, I mean, they're another side. I mean, obviously we've spoken a lot about Wakefield not winning since lockdown, since the season restarted. But Castleford, they've only won once. And they seem to be in a real struggle for form at the minute. I mean, obviously they lost the game quite convincingly on Sunday against a Hull side that, like you said, have been hit and miss. And they did have the full spine back. Yeah, they didn't. They had some second or third choice wingers, but that spine's there, and that's all. That's what you want to be able to guide your team around the field, and it just seems as though Castleford are in a similar position to Wakefield in the sense that they're not really firing on all cylinders at the minute. So I wonder whether they're going to produce a performance anytime soon.
Well, they've got a big chance to do it on Thursday. They play Hull KR. Hull KR, another team that need a win, really. They started off the restart pretty well, but they've struggled as of late. So, they need a win. So yeah, big game, Cass and Hull KR. Darryl Powell will be saying to his players, look, this is one we're expected to win and should win. So, it's up to you now, fellas, to go out there and get the job done. So yeah, be interesting. But certainly they are struggling, and I think Darryl Powell will just want to get to the end of the season, get a pre-season and start, maybe hit the ground running in 2021. But as you know, with this COVID and players being stood down weekly basis and all these precautions are taken,
isn't it?
you just don't know what side you're going to have out from one week to the next. So, it's hard, but I'm sure Darryl Powell will want to just get to that off-season, have a couple of weeks holiday and get back and hit the ground running in 2021.
Yeah, and a team struggling similarly to Castleford is Wakefield. Now, they lost against St Helens after they played well against them the week before and were probably unlucky not to get a result against them the week previously. They played them again on Thursday night. No, not Thursday night, Friday night. But lost convincingly. I mean, Saints were just on fire, weren't they, on Friday? And I think any team that came up against them in that sort of mood would have lost convincingly. Was it Thursday? Right, my days are getting mixed up.
Yeah, they would have done. Look, Saints completed well, looked after the ball. They were great in attack, defensively tough, and that will to win. Yeah, they were great. Wakefield, they lost by 40 points,
Yeah.
something like that. But you know what? I think maybe 9, 10 other teams in Super League have lost by that margin as well. So, Saints outstanding. Wakefield just couldn't handle them at times.
I think when Saints are in that sort of mood and they're in that groove where they're just playing some rugby that's almost unstoppable at times. Wakefield haven't been playing well as of late, but I think any team would have struggled against a Saints side of that calibre and playing that well. I think they would have easily beaten any side in Super League.
Yeah, they were good. Wakefield just couldn't back up that performance the week previously. You know, when you're playing a team that's top of the league and zap so much energy out of you 2 weeks on the spin, you're not going to maintain them performance levels both weeks, or highly unlikely you will, and that just proved to be the case. And Saints were great in the first half, and then it were always too hard to claw back. They were better in the second half, Wakefield, but Saints just too good and ran away with it. Yeah,
and obviously Wakefield this week, they're playing on Thursday again.
Well, they've got 2 games in 3 days.
Yeah, so
Thursday
they're playing
and Sunday. They'll look to win them both.
Playing Huddersfield on Thursday at St Helens, which seems crazy to me that 2 teams from West Yorkshire have to travel down to St Helens, down, wherever.
To St Helens.
To St Helens. To play a game of rugby, but it is what it is in these times. So they're playing Huddersfield on Thursday and then Hull KR on Sunday. Obviously Huddersfield have been playing well since Luke Robinson took over from Simon Wolford about 4 or 5 games ago now. I think they've won most of those games, only lost one or two. And then obviously Hull KR, which are probably a team in a similar position to Wakefield. So I think they'll probably be looking at Sunday to look to get a result out of that one. But you'd hope...
No. You go first. Huddersfield, you shut Caesar down, and they've got a team of average players, in my view. You've got to go the squad that they've got. The skipper Jacob Miller's back in. You've Ben Jones Bishop back in the side. The team that Wakefield will put out on Thursday night should go and get the result against Huddersfield. They'll fancy the chances. So you aim for the win against Huddersfield on Thursday. If that fails. Yeah. You aim for the win against Hull KR on Sunday. You just take every game as it comes and win the game that's in front of you. And obviously there's going to have to be some squad management there going on. Players that'll sit out on Thursday, you'd probably expect to come back in on Sunday. Your Josh Woods, who's been left out this week. Bill Tupou, who's just approaching full fitness. You'd expect him to come in on Sunday. Innis Senior will come back in on Sunday. He obviously misses Thursday's game because it's his parent club.
Yeah.
So you'd expect those guys. Tony G go back from his COVID issues. He'll be back Sunday. You'd expect. So yeah, there'll be squad changes, but Wakefield will be targeting both games to get maximum points or maximum percentage ratios, whatever it is now.
Well, you look at the squad on paper and it is good enough to beat both Huddersfield and Hull KR. So you'd hope that they go into both of those games thinking we've got nothing to lose. Put the rest of the games that we've played behind us and just go out and try and win those 2 games and hopefully come away with some points and a bit of pride by playing well.
Yeah, definitely. Are we going to break for a song? I don't know what you've picked this week.
We can do, yes. We've
Any
got,
good?
Yeah, we've got a few good 2 good songs. This first one's I thought it'd be nice to have an uplifting song. During these hard times that we're facing at the minute.
Let's see how it is then.
This is an uplifting song called Rise Up.
Rise Up? Never heard of it.
You will have done.
You will have done. You're listening to On The Whistle with Connor and Zoe live on Smile Radio. So get in touch with us Instagram and Twitter at Smile Radio 3 or on Facebook Live and at Smile Radio Yorkshire. Get in touch with us. You know you wanna. We'll be right back after this.
You're broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round, and you can't find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Move mountains, we gon' walk it out and move mountains. mountains, and I rise up, I rise like the day. I rise up, I rise unafraid. I rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. And I rise up, I like the waves. I rise up, in spite of the ache. I rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. You, the silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet. Move mountains, bring it to its feet. Move mountains. And I rise up, I rise like the day. I rise up, I rise unafraid. I rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. For that we have each other, and we will rise, we will rise, we'll rise, we'll rise. I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I will rise 1,000 times again, and we'll rise up. I like the waves. We'll rise up, in spite of the ache. We'll rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times again.
College Grove Nursery in Wakefield has been providing the highest standard of childcare for over 22 years. Situated on Eastmore Road, we are close to the M1 and M62 motorway network and also convenient for Wakefield city centre, schools and major places of employment. For more details, check out our website at www.collegegrovenursery.co.uk or give us a call on 01924 200 120 to arrange a visit. College Grove, a special nursery which takes a hand, opens a mind and touches a heart.
We're back.
We are back.
What was that? So while we were on rugby league, we were talking about matches coming up this weekend. 3 matches on Thursday. Obviously, we've already looked at Wakefield and Huddersfield. There is also Catalans against Hull FC. Am I reading that right?
Do you know, why don't you just let me read it rather than you trying to...
I've got a rubbish eyesight as it is.
Castleford play Hull KR at half-5. Catalans play Hull FC
Well, I'm
on
sorry,
the
right, from where I'm sat,
at
that could be
6:15.
any... I mean, at least I got the C and the Hull,
Well
the
done.
Hulls right.
Catalan play Hull 6:15. Huddersfield Wakefield at 7:45. Friday it's Wigan Salford and Saints Leeds. So 2 big games there. Obviously Leeds and Salford both in action. Maybe a cup hangover for those two against two quality teams in opposition.
Yeah, obviously Saints top of the league. Wigan will be looking to get back into that top four, those top four spots. Sorry, and yeah, you'd think probably a bit of a cup fallout, cup hangover. Did you say? Yeah. I mean Leeds obviously winning Salford. They don't really have much to play for in the league. So you'd think Wigan would probably win that one against Salford.
Yep, I'd agree. But then we've got, obviously, Wakefield OKR on the Sunday, which we've discussed. But on the Monday, before we're back on, there's 3 fixtures. Salford Saints, Catalans, Warrington, Leeds and Cass. So, you know, Wakefield have to back up.
Yeah, fixtures are coming thick and fast, as you would say.
They are, everywhere, yes. So, you know, looking to get all the fixtures in before the close of the season, which is just obviously a couple of weeks away.
I know, it's crazy
game.
Really, isn't it? We went for so long without it, and now the season, it seems like it's obviously been going on for a long while, but a couple of weeks and then it's over with, and then we'll be looking at next season as well, which just, it seems crazy. But yeah, talking about those fixtures coming up, I mean, Catalans against Hull FC. What are your thoughts on that one?
Catalans have been good. Hull FC, well, you think beating Cass by a big margin like that will give them some confidence going over there. It's always a funny place to go, Catalans. You don't know which Catalans are going to turn up a lot of the time. If it's the Catalans that have been good as of late, you'd fancy them to beat.
Yeah, I think I would probably go
beat Hull.
For Catalans to beat Hull, especially is it at Catalans?
It is, yeah. They're my dark horses for the grand final at Catalan.
Yeah.
I think they could really go on and win the comp altogether.
Yeah, I think if they play like they have been doing, I mean, obviously Saints are playing some really good rugby as well. I think it'll probably be a toss-up for me between those two. But yeah, Catalans could be a dark horse, like you said.
Let me get this right. There's 2 games at the Totally Wicked on Thursday. Wakefield, Huddersfield, 2 Yorkshire clubs. And then Castleford, another Yorkshire club. Hull KR are to travel from Hull all the way to Lancashire on a Thursday night.
It's a good job.
How ridiculous. Why isn't this staged at Headingley? So the longest the team has to travel is an hour in Hull.
Yeah. So it's a good job it's not on a Thursday night and
the Hull KR fans... Cass Wakefield, Huddersfield, it's on your doorstep.
Yeah.
I just can't believe how Totally Wicked Stadium. Well, I know we lost 3 Yorkshire club and a Hull as well.
It's the
honestly, they just don't help themselves, though. But there we go.
Mally Stokes has said Classic Cass might even win a game on Thursday. They're playing Hull KR.
Yeah, they might do.
They could do.
They need to, really.
Yeah.
I won't count on it, though. I just don't know who's going to win this.
Yeah.
I honestly don't. I mean, I've backed Cass and backed Cass these last few weeks. Yeah, they'll get it right this week. They're not far away. They'll win this week. And each time they're just letting me down.
And I think they were so far off it on Sunday.
So do you know what? I'm going to go for Cass again because I want them to let me down once more. Keep the trend going.
They were so far off it on Sunday. I'm actually going to go for a Hull KR win to just put that out there.
I'm going to go Cass.
Right.
Cass by 6. I think they'll bounce back.
Okay.
I just think that. I do just think that, you know, OKR are going to throw the ball around, so it's not going to be an highly structured game.
No.
I think Cass just have the better individuals, and I think if they go like for like with OKR and play the same brand, I think Cass just get the upper hand for me.
Well, I'm going to go for Hull KR, but I think it'll be a close game, and I'm going to say Hull KR by 2.
There we go.
And then obviously St Helens and Leeds.
Oh, you'd have to say Saints.
Yeah.
But in the back of the mind, Leeds last time they played Saints got a good towel in, didn't they? 40-odd nil. So, yeah, that'll be in the back of the mind. It's always funny when you come off the back of a cup final because you're not expected to go out there and perform at 100%, even though the coach will say, yeah, we'll do it. You won't. So your players go into it relaxed. You can go one or two ways. You can go out there and play like Harlem Globetrotters and you know, win quite easy, or you can go out there and be lethargic. You just can't predict the games because you don't know what team's going to turn up. But I'm going to predict it anyway, and I'm going to go for Saints to win that one quite easy.
I agree. I'm going to go for a Saints win, backing up from that astounding victory against Wakefield last week. I think they'll back that up with an easy win against Leeds this weekend. And also, while we're still on rugby league for a little bit longer, the NRL Grand Final is on Sunday. Obviously, Sunday morning English time, but obviously Sunday night Australia time, and it is Melbourne against Penrith, who are obviously minor premiers, won the league. So who's going to win that one? That's a good matchup. I mean, Melbourne beat Canberra on Friday, and then obviously Penrith won against. Did they beat Souths?
South Sydney
Yeah.
Rabbitohs.
Sorry, my mind went blank then. I mean, I really wanted Canberra to win. I thought they've been playing really well, and they beat obviously Sydney Roosters the week before. But Melbourne are again a team a bit like Leeds. They just know how to win those big games. And they were. I watched the game on Friday morning, and Melbourne were just outstanding from minute 1 to minute 80. I think they went about 18-0 up within the space of 20 minutes or something like that. And then from then on, Canberra were just left struggling and left clawing back a win that ultimately was too much. Your likes of Cameron Smith obviously playing really well for Melbourne, so it's a tough one to call. I mean, Penrith haven't been in a grand final for some time, but they've been the outstanding team for the majority of the season. Won the NRL Premiership. So it's two top teams going against each other, and I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic final. But who's your money on that?
I'm going to go Penrith. I think they've got the individuals in there that can win a big game. It will be an arm wrestle. You know, NRL is as a rule, and I think being in a final epitomises that even more. It will be an arm wrestle. I'm going to go for... If you're asking me for a prediction, it'll have to be Penrith, just because the quality of players, you know, Cleary, unbelievable talent, and as there are a few others in that Penrith side. So yeah, Penrith, but you can't rule out Melbourne, can you? So
well, that's it for me.
It's
I mean,
a toss of a coin.
yeah.
I'm going to go Penrith just to win by 4 points, and it's going to be, you know, it's going to be a late try to win it, or there's going to be some drama. I can almost guarantee that. But yeah, my money's on Penrith just.
Yeah, I agree. I think Melbourne, yeah, like you said, you can't rule them out. They're a big game team. They know how to win those games. Likes of Cameron Smith, obviously, it'll be his last game playing for Melbourne, so he'll want to sign off on a high. But
is he retiring?
I believe so, at the end of the year.
I still think he could go on.
But he could do, yeah. And then Penrith, yeah, like you said,
you know,
Cleary,
these Aussies are smart, aren't they? If you're retiring, you know full well you're retiring. You're announcing it before a game to make it all about you, aren't you? Oh, it's Cameron's last game. Can it be a Swat's fairy tale?
But
I think he'll do another year.
I'd like Penrith to win, so I'm going to go for Penrith. Mally Stokes says, my Australian side, Manly, what's happened to them? Yeah, they had a bit of a stinker of a season. I think Tom Trbojevic was out for some time, and they had a couple of injuries, didn't they? And they just couldn't buy a win by the end of the season. So maybe next year, Mally.
Which one is Tom the fullback, Trbojevic, or is it Jake?
No, Tom's the fullback, and Jake's
I'm not
forward.
buying him. That Tom. Don't get me wrong, he's a talent, but there's just times that for me he's not quite smart enough. He sometimes gets his timing a bit wrong. He tries doing things all on his own a little bit too often. Great talent, don't get me wrong, but nowhere near the finished article for me. But yeah, Manly, a bit of a stuttery season for them, but they've got enough quality in that squad to gather together and get
they'll be
improve
better.
and climb
They'll
the
improve next year. I'm sure they will. An interesting point of discussion. This will be interesting for you. I've just had a notification on Sky Sports. Mesut Ozil left out of Arsenal's Premier League squad for the 2020/2021 season. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. I
expected.
I think him and they had to leave two of the foreign players out, didn't they? And they were all they were always going to be Socrates and Mesut Ozil. Won't play a game for Arsenal again. He's been left out of the Europa League squad and the Premier League squad is only open of appearances in the Carabao Cup. And Arteta won't even give him a game in that. So, it's a shame. I'd love to know what's gone on because, he was pictured the other day training and he's fist pumping Arteta. And they say, so what is it? Is it the hierarchy saying, look, Mesut Ozil doesn't play, Mikel, and Arteta going with it? You don't know because they played with each other, didn't they? And it's quite evident that there's not been a massive bust-up between player and manager because, that they've been, showing a good enough relationship in the video clips and like fist pumping. You don't do that if you've had a big bust-up. If you have a big bust-up, you release him or there's some friction there. So. Yeah, it's a weird one. It's a weird one. I
don't think we'll ever get to the bottom of it.
But he's out with the squad, and you know what? He'll never play again for Arsenal again. I think they'll look to get rid of him. Or they've tried their hardest in the summer, just gone. They'll try again as hard as possible in January, and then his contract's up at the end of the year anyway. So it's one of them who's going to take him for pay a fee for 5 months or whatever, and just get him when he comes off contract. But then it'll be a year without playing. So yeah,
an interesting one, right? Well. Let's break for another song, and then we can finish off with a bit of football news.
Yep, bang on.
Bang on.
What you got? What song you picked now? Another one I don't know.
No, got a bit of Alicia Keys.
Oh, lovely.
Alicia, have you heard of this one, Connor?
It depends what it is.
If I ain't got you.
You will have done.
Like you heard the other one.
I don't think I've heard this one.
Anyway,
don't ring any bells,
he's not ringing any bells. Anyway, you're listening to Connor and Zoe live on Smile Radio on the Whistle. So get in touch on Instagram and Twitter at Smile Radio 3, Facebook Smile Radio Yorkshire, and don't forget you can listen live on our website www.smileradio.co or download the free app. You want to. Or failing that, you can listen to on Alexa. Say Alexa, start Smile Radio.
Some people live for the fortune. Some people live just for the fame. Some people live for the power, yeah. Some people live just to play the game. Some people think that the physical things define what's within, and I've been there before, but that life's a bore, so full of the superficial. And some people want it all, but I don't want nothing at all. If it ain't you, baby, if I ain't got it, you, baby. Some people want diamond rings, some just want everything, but everything means nothing if I ain't got you. Yeah. Some people search for a fountain. The promise is forever young. Some people need 3 dozen roses, and that's the only way to prove you love them. Hand me the world on a silver platter, and what good would it be? With no one to share, with no one who truly cares for with me, baby. Ooh, said nothing in this whole wide world don't mean a thing if I ain't got you with me, baby.
Did you miss that bit?
People want it all. Yeah, I like that song. I don't know words like. I just know the do 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 do. So yeah, all right.
Thanks for that rendition.
My
I thought Alicia Keys had just walked in the room.
My pleasure.
So let's talk a little bit of football then, shall we?
Yeah.
We've got a quarter of an hour left. The big discussion from the weekend, which we're seeing all over social media. Virgil van Dijk out for the season.
Out for life, but look.
Thoughts?
Oh, well, obviously, a massive shame. There's no hiding away from the fact it was a poor challenge. Deserved the red card. Yeah, and Virgil van Dijk. I think there's too much talking about it, really. I can understand why. I think, look, it's a bad challenge. He should have been sent off. He should have been banned. Yeah. It's a shame Virgil van Dijk's out for the season.
But let's get on with it.
Let's just get on with it.
It's like there's like no player's been injured before.
It's like
in the
an
world.
ACL's unheard of and don't happen in impact sport. Yeah, it's sad, but it is what it is. You know, you'll run a risk. You know, you've got a percentage that you're going to get a chance that you're going to get injured when you play football. So he's got injured.
Yeah.
It's a shame. Liverpool now just need to move on from it and try and cope as best they can. It's going to be hard losing a player of that stature who's been probably, for me, the best player in the Premier League, along with De Bruyne, for the last 12, 18 months. So, yeah, it'll be tough for Liverpool.
It's going to be tough for them to adjust without him
they've got Joe Gomez to come back in. They've got Matip in there, so Matip and Gomez will be the first choice to you. Fabinho, who can drop in there. They just need no more injuries and get through to January and look to bring in somebody in January. And January, believe it or not, it's not too far away, is it, when you look at the
11
big
Fridays
picture?
till Christmas.
So, yeah.
Is that all it is?
I saw something the other day on Facebook. I think it was something like that. We've had a comment from Mally Stokes. Mendy back in goal tonight. Thank God. Let's hope Kepa has played his last game for Chelsea. We can't get rid of him. Who's going to buy him? Maybe send him to Eastmore on loan. Well, if Eastmore will take him.
They've just come back and said they've got three keepers, Eastmore. So maybe they've said maybe next year if he's available. So yeah.
Yeah, of course. So it's Champions League tonight.
Yeah, that's a point. That's back up and running.
Couple of English
Who's
teams in
tonight?
action. So Chelsea are playing Sevilla.
Sevilla.
And Man United are playing PSG, which is
Is Cavani in contention? Have you got the teams
an
there?
interesting matchup. So I'll just go through the lineups. PSG, Navas. Just bear with me on my pronunciation. Navas, Florenzi, Diallo,
I'll have a go after you.
Kimpembe, Kurzawa, Herrera, Danilo. This is an interesting one. Gueye, Gueye, Gueye.
Gay. Yeah, he
that's
played
him,
at. He's played at Premier League.
Yeah. Di Maria, Mbappe, and Neymar. And Man United, De Gea, obviously in goal. Wan-Bissaka, Twanzebe.
Axel Twanzebe, yeah.
Lindelof, Shaw, Tellez, Fred, McTominay, Bruno Fernandes, Rashford, and Martial.
Let me have a go at that PSG team, see if I can. Florenzi, Diallo, Kimpembe, Kurzawa, Herrera, Danilo, Gay, Di Maria, Mbappe, Neymar.
It's just how I said it.
But I nailed it. Substitutes for Man United. Pogba, who's been dropped for the last 2 games now. Paul Pogba. Juan Mata, Dan James, Timothy Fosu, Mensah, Odion Ighalo.
There's got to be something going on with Pogba. I mean, he must either be an absolute pain in the backside, or I don't know. Because
the thing is, you pick, and I said this before. You're always going to Solskjaer. You go into a game against PSG. You pick Fred and McTominay and give him set role. You know that them jobs are going to get done. You play Paul Pogba. There's question marks as to whether they're going to get done. But in the back of your mind, you're thinking, Yeah, but Paul can take on 3 players.
Mm.
You know,
And when
Score
you're
a
when
goal.
you're in the
He's,
game,
he's a
just
class
single-
act, but he's just so
Yeah.
inconsistent, though, isn't
I
he?
think when he wants to play, he plays, and when he doesn't, he doesn't,
Yeah.
and that's it. And I think it's a bit of a waste almost, because he is such a good player and such a talent, but he just doesn't play that like that week in, week out, and that's probably one of the reasons why Solskjaer's dropping him, is because he's not consistent enough.
speaking of Chelsea goalkeepers, this is quite an interesting one because Chelsea have named their Premier League squad. You won't believe who's featuring in it.
What, for next year?
No, for the Premier. You know that Mesut Ozil's been left out of.
Yeah.
Chelsea have named theirs, and there's a place in there for Petr Cech as emergency cover.
Interesting.
Now Petr Cech hasn't played for a couple of years, and he's the club's
Is it-
technical
what,
and
is he?
performance advisor.
Is he about 40 years old?
So they've got some faith in Kepa, haven't they? If the Petr Cech is coming into the.
You'll be happy to hear that, Mally.
So Petr Cech, what's all that about? Mad,
Seems
isn't
like
it?
an interesting
Crazy.
one. He's about 40 years old.
Crazy. So yeah, but just
So-
on the whole Pogba situation, like I say, Fred and McTominay are going to do you a job, and Fernandes even to some extent. Pogba isn't, is he?
No, exactly. So,
He's going to do what he wants regardless.
No, but he had a great World Cup, though, didn't he?
but that
Yeah,
was
but,
so long
again,
ago now, wasn't it?
that's-
We can't live off.
And the play and football's changed. I know this World Cup's only 2 years ago, but as daft as it sounds, football's changed in 2 years. And Pogba just, some managers will love him because it, but when you play in a system, Man United can't afford to carry a they've got frailties at the back still. Man United, they're
Speaking of at
still
the
not
back,
accomplished.
Why is Maguire not playing?
He's injured
Is he
tonight.
injured?
Yes,
Right.
he bounced back well at the weekend. Scored a goal.
He scored,
Good
in the
goal,
win.
wasn't it?
Yeah, question marks over him, but bounced back in good fashion at the weekend. He's injured, so he's missing
Yeah.
through injury. So that's why.
Do you know what? He's got a lot. Yeah, I mean, everything that's happened to him this year,
There's a lot on
obviously,
his plate.
he's got a lot going on. Yeah, I mean, we've not got to the full truth of what happened to when he was in Greece, and I think he's been vilified a little bit. Obviously, he had a nightmare for England as well. Came back, like you said, scored for Man U, and obviously now injured. So we'll see what happens with Maguire, but I just think leave him to it. You can't be getting on at him after everything. That's not going to do him any good, is it? Just leave him to it. Leave him be and see what happens.
Yep, good stuff. Chelsea, Sevilla. Let's have a look at what Chelsea have got. So they've got Petr Cech in goal. They've got Marcel Desailly at back with John Terry.
And Didier Drogba
With
up front.
Joe Cole in midfield.
Drogba up front.
Makelele and Essien just anchoring in midfield.
Oh,
Mendy,
those were the days.
Drogba were a class act, though,
Yeah.
What a
Mendy,
player.
James, Thiago Silva, Zuma, Chilwell, Jorginho, Kante, Pulisic, Havertz, Mount, Werner. So they're
So full,
first choice.
yeah, full strength.
As they were. And then on the bench, Ariza Balaga, Rudiger, Christensen, Abraham, Caballero, Tomori, Kovacic, Giroud, Hudson-Odoi, Ziyech, Azpilicueta and Emerson. So, Jesus, how many subs? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You can aim up to 12 subs. What's all that about?
It's ridiculous.
Right, lads, I'm going to make a 12 substitutions at the break.
You're all off.
Yeah, it's squad rotation. Matt Bassett would do something like that if he could, wouldn't he? So, yeah, with plenty of games. So there's Chelsea, Sevilla, Rennes, Krasnodar, Lazio, Borussia Dortmund, Barcelona versus, here, wait for this, Ferencvaros TC.
Never heard of them.
Where are they?
Where are they based?
Be a tough one that for Barca tonight. I've never heard of any of the players. Just Bogdan. Oh, I have heard of some of the players.
Bogdan. I've heard of him.
Frimpong.
Yes.
So they don't even met the starting lineups. Oh, there we go. Yeah, interesting. PSG, Man United, RB Leipzig versus Istanbul. Let's have a look at the games tomorrow. There'll be some tomorrow, won't there?
Yeah. So obviously that's Champions League tonight. And yep, tomorrow. Come on, let's be having you.
In Group A, RB Salzburg versus Lokomotiv Moscow. Bayern Munich, Atletico Madrid. That'll be a good Real
game
Madrid,
tomorrow.
Shakhtar Donetsk, Inter Milan, Borussia Mönchengladbach, Man City are in action against Porto, Olympiacos, Marseille, Ajax against Liverpool, and FC Midtjylland versus Atalanta. Let's have
Some
a look what
interesting
games are coming up
lineups then.
at the weekend. West Ham play Man City, Fulham play Crystal Palace, Man United play Chelsea, Liverpool, Sheffield United. Man U Chelsea, that'll be a belter. Sunday, a couple of good games Sunday. Wolves, Newcastle, Southampton, Everton, Arsenal, Leicester, Sunday night. So that's another belter there, Arsenal, Leicester at the Emirates.
Did Leicester lose at the weekend?
They did to Newcastle,
Yeah.
yeah. So, yes, they did. Maybe just have a look. Saturday. Or
Has
Sunday.
Bale played for
He
Spurs?
came.
They lost to Villa.
I was going to say it was Villa because Tyrone Mings scored, didn't he? Did he? He scored the winner.
No, it was Ross Barkley.
Oh, well, one of the two.
Bale.
Yeah, yes, Bale came on. West Ham, Tottenham against West Ham at the weekend. Tottenham were winning
3-0.
3-0. Bale came on and they drew 3-3.
Well done, Bale.
Yeah, 3-0 after 16 minutes, and then I can't believe it. 3-0 with 10 minutes left, and they drew 3-3. Balbuena 82, Davinson Sanchez old goal 85.
There were no goal, weren't
Lanzini 94th
With an
minute.
absolute
What a peach that was!
a peach.
I've seen
Absolute
that.
corker from
I've seen that,
Lanzini.
yeah.
Just hit it so true. No keeper in the world saving it. Lloris got an hand to it, but couldn't save it. What an absolute peach that was. And yeah, Gareth Bale, impact sub.
yeah. It's like Mike Bassett.
Mike Bassett, England. Get him off.
What I'm just having a look at the comment from Mally Stokes. Man United against Chelsea.
7-7.
Who's going to win that one?
Tough one, isn't it? Tough one. Man United. Is it a Man United?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, they're off the back of a win at the weekend. A good win. Chelsea, a frustrating draw at home against Southampton, 3-3.
Well,
again,
yeah.
They were
I mean,
in cruise
that
control
was
and
another
blew
one.
it. So, yeah, I'm not sure about that one. I'll go a draw. I'll sit on fence and go a draw.
Have you got splinters, love?
Yeah, I'll sit on fence. Draw. 1-1.
I will probably do. I'm going to go for Chelsea to win that one. 2-1. I just think. Yeah, but Man U won at the weekend, but I don't know. I'm still not convinced.
Valley said 7-8, 7-all.
Tell you what, we got for neutral. One thing we had I tell you what, if you're saying at the beginning of the season you're going to go 4, 5, 6 weeks without 1-0, but which two teams are going to be the first 0-0? I think we'd all guess it.
West Brom and Burnley.
West Brom and Burnley, the first 0-0 of the season, and then Sean Dyche afterwards.
Burnley, have they got any points?
That was
yet?
that was their first point of the season.
And Sean Dyche,
Oh,
I
really
think he's a
fear for
great
him.
manager, but he comes out to press after and he's going, yeah. I thought we showed more about ourselves there, so yeah,
We'll take the
we'll
point.
take the point. And I'm thinking, you're a Burnley fan. What are you? You're that
But you know, for me, I mean, Burnley, they've obviously got off to a poor start. But they were so good last year, and they were up in the top half of the table, and some wheels have fallen off.
They'll
But
have a purple patch, won't they?
They'll
Yeah.
come
come
good. I
back.
mean, Sean Dykes, he's done a fantastic job, hasn't he? And I mean, you wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of him, would you?
Hard to give him a run for his money. There we go.
Well, it's that time, kids.
Yeah, bang on. Another hour just goes like that.
I know.
We'll be back
Time.
next week.
Time
Yeah.
flies when you're having fun, eh?
Thanks, Mally. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and don't forget, if you've missed this show or any others, you can download the podcast from iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, and all the major podcasting sites, or you can go to our website smileradio.co/on-demand. All I have to say is thanks very much.
Ciao,
you very
adios,
much.
and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday. Yeah, take care, guys. Stay
As they
safe.
say.
Girls want embrace, so if you don't wanna cry like I do, I'll keep away from a run around Sue. Whoa.